This is a fan-requested comparison between Kevin Levrone and Dennis Wolf. The viewer was not specific of what year the Kevin Levrone I should use, so I decided to go with the 2002. It is a very lean, but yet muscular version of Levrone. And I went with the 2007 version of Wolfie Wolf, Dennis Wolf, my personal favorite version. And before you guys go ahead and smash that dislike button and go ahead and comment and say that I made Kevin Levrone too big in this comparison, you are wrong. You are dead wrong. Kevin Levrone is sized perfectly here. And if you know anything about Kevin Levrone and the history of his posing, things of that nature, the judges, the announcers would be forever telling him, Kevin, back up. Kevin would always step forward to make himself bigger, so I was not incorrect with that, and this is the real size. In which case, maybe a slight edge to Dennis Wolf. He has the tiny waist and superior bone structure with those wide shoulders. Look at that clavicle. Of course, those little calves may hurt him. The more aesthetic set of abs goes to Levrone, but he has a visible torn pec that may hurt him. From the back development, it is very hard to say. A blurry picture for Levrone, and not a very good position for Dennis Wolf. Wolf, if I had to make an estimation, he looks a little soft in the back, maybe a little tighter in the legs, the glutes. Hard to say. Slightly inconclusive in the symmetry round, which you know I like. Front double bicep pose, and this is one of the few poses you're going to see Kevin Levrone have more of a peak on his bicep than his opponent. Dennis Wolf not known at all for a peak. Actually, the more I look, Dennis may have more of a peak than Levrone, but Levrone's biceps much better, much fuller, much thicker, equal in the forearms. Good set of triceps for both men. I like the display much better for Levrone and his abs. But then again, Dennis Wolf battles back with the tiny little wee waist. Those calves, a little bit distracting. Tiny little wee calves of Dennis Wolf. Just terrible. Of course, when you look at a picture of a werewolf, they had little tiny calves too. But all jokes aside, I'm going to give an edge to Kevin Levrone. And then, of course, there's more than an edge here in this front lat spread. Aside from those tiny, skimpy calves of Dennis Wolf, which actually were probably at his best here earlier on in his career. Aside from that, this front lat spread is unbeatable. Well, I guess his abs could be a little bit more aesthetic. But in a shot like this, I'm telling you, Kevin Levrone, a little uneven in his lat spread. You'll notice I changed the height a little bit of Levrone. The front double bicep, he was considerably shorter. He was spreading eagle. His legs were bent at the knee. And he's pretty much straight. They're actually close to being the same height here. Dennis Wolf, 5'11". I believe Kevin Levrone, probably around 5'10". So there's an inch, maybe an inch and a half difference. And when it comes to sizing these guys, you have to take all things into consideration, like this side chest pose. Dennis Wolf, he's nodding his head down. You can plainly see he is still much taller at the shoulders. Kevin holding his head high. If I don't give these explanations, sometimes people comment negative, and I don't want to upset anybody. I'm going to go ahead and give this one to Levrone, even though he is slightly smaller. But look at the tie-ins of the delts, the muscles, just a quality. And you look at the midsection, from what you can see, it's a little tighter. Neither one of these gentlemen is what I would call strided, and the lag department from the side. And we'll carry on with another side shot, side tricep. And like I was saying, not as strided as their opponents that night, I believe. And that's one reason why I don't think Dennis Wolf defeated Victor Martinez, in my opinion, in 2007. I think Victor was the uncrowned champion. But anyway, we don't need to get into that right now. Dennis Wolf is losing this, as Mikey's Iron Rage says, and I hope I don't offend him by using his sayings, as long as I give him a shout-out. The pancake time, he says, because of the tricep. It's flat pancake, flat as a pancake. It's flapjack time. Kevin Levrone is anything but a flapjack here. He is a thick tricep. If I had to be a bit of an idiot, or whatever you would call it, a nitpicky, And I know I sound nitpicky. It's terrible. But Kevin Levrone's tricep could stand to be a little bit harder, a little bit crisper, and that carried on through his whole career. But anyway, that is a very, very critical look and a very, very critical outlook on life. Have a look at the back developments, and this is a close one if I have ever seen one. The rear lat spread. There are aspects of each, but they have a way of bending my mind back. I look at the traps, and Dennis has a massive set of traps, don't get me wrong, but I look at the top of the traps, and Levrone has the edge. So it's almost a toss-up in that aspect. The lat insertions, much cleaner, neater for Kevin Levrone, a nicer lower back. But then Dennis Wolf battles back with the size. He's just a Boeing 747 jet. Very, very tight decision in the rear lat spread. I'm going to go ahead and give Dennis Wolf a slight edge, just due to the width. And he has that width in spades also in the rear double bicep. But again, those lower lat insertions, they're not clean and as neat. You can definitely see a line there for Levrone, and genetics are working for him. Of course, that width again, almost distracting of Dennis Wolf. Look at the size of his delts. As one of my commenters, I do see the odd comment. I try to read as many as I can, guys, but I'm constantly working on videos, and it's hard to see all of them, and that's a great thing. I mean, I love all your comments, but somebody said that he has the best delts in this pose. They even put the time of the shot, and you are right. Look at the size of those delts. Of course, Levrone is anything but small potatoes, and I think the quality of his physique in this is enough to get him a slight edge in the rear double bicep. The ab and thigh is no different than any other shot in this matchup. Could honestly go either way, every one of these shots, so I'm sure the comment section will be full of disagreements. I don't want to say arguments, but disagreements, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's more cuts in Levrone's legs, for sure, but there is no doubt that the giant Wolf has the size in them quads. Smaller waist goes to Wolf, and that's a good thing, for sure, but the more aesthetic, more cut set of abs goes to Levrone. I think that alone is pushing me towards Kevin Levrone in this one, and I don't like just a straight up matchup, a fan request. I don't like to leave any pose inconclusive. And I'm telling you right now, this one was a tight decision. Every one of these poses, not just this ab and thigh, but every one of them. Kevin Levrone, slight edge, most muscular. And again, this one, guys, I mean, both of these guys renowned for this one. And for you Levrone-ites or Dorian-ites for Kevin Levrone, and I'm sure there's a lot of you, would get upset that I handed him a loss in the most muscular pose. But keep in mind, this is Dennis Wolf we're dealing with. Not only that, but more importantly, this is a lean version of Kevin Levrone. And for sure, he would have looked better in this pose, but I think the leaner version was a better pick. But anyway, if there was any dispute who was winning the most muscular, on into the crab position, and Dennis Wolf takes over. Levrone's best bet was the hands clasped, but of course Wolf had an answer to that as well. So, the overall winner of the most muscular, Wolfman, Dennis Wolf, but Levrone gets the overall win. So congratulations, Kevin Levrone, 2002. Defeats, in my opinion, Dennis Wolf of 2007. I think he was just a little bit more complete. He had the calves working for him. So, in a true symmetry round, he probably would have won in that aspect. Hard to say. Dennis Wolf, a little bit lacking in the lower lat insertion area. And actually, to tell you the truth, Kevin Levrone was never the strongest in that aspect either, which doesn't really say much about Dennis Wolf's lower back. Or more importantly and more truthfully, it says a lot about the genetics of the top flight competitors that these guys were doing battle against. I mean, Phil Heath's lower back, guys like that. I mean, Dorian Yates, and Kevin Levrone had to deal with Dorian Yates, and the King Ronnie Coleman. Look at their backs. just incredible. But in my opinion, Kevin Levrone had enough to defeat Dennis Wolf. Hope you guys enjoyed this fan request, and I will honor the first request in the comment section below. So go ahead and get it out. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hit thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you have not already. Have a great day.